So welcome to the Node.js Node API team meeting for March 15th, 2023. Before we get started, does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share? Okay, if not, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So I guess we didn't say there's anything new. I don't know if there's anything new on the SQL8 one, just depending on if anybody's had a chance to take a look. So it sounds like no update there. I don't think there's any update in terms of the non-C language bindings or debug testing. In terms of coverage, I have seen a few PRs, and I can't remember if it actually has landed or not. Okay, add basic coverage. Right, so this one, I think. I think if I remember last time, there was maybe something Kevin was going to tweet. Right, I think maybe he's done that though, because this was one of the things. So this is probably ready to land if people want to take a look and add in the approval or approvals. Any questions or discussion on that one?
Yeah. It would be great if Kevin would be here today and walk for this.
Okay. And then, so that takes us like the stale issues. I don't think there's any new stale issues as far as I remember, so I don't think there's anything to discuss on that. Okay, so we might as well dive into the issues in the repos. Yeah. Okay, pull requests. Those are a couple I can go and land. I think we already talked, so really nothing there, I don't think, to talk about. Issues. I don't see anything too new. Any ones of any of these that we should chat about? No? Okay. Let's go to Node. Issues later.
Well, probably the filter issue should be removed so that we can.
Yes, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Point.
And yeah, we are waiting for the 18 backport for the node.js types.
Yep.
So
I think that'll just this one is, so I don't think it would be Kevin that it would be though. It would okay, so maybe he's not asking Kevin. This is like, so we should make sure this one, does this have a backport for it?
well, I believe this landed last week, so I think it will need more time to wait to be backported.
Okay.
Probably we can add a label like LTS watch. Is
Right.
that right?
Yeah, I think so. was just trying to find the. Where's that event? Where's that one? Okay, LTS watch, right? So we need this back into 20 and 18, right?
Yeah, 20 and 18.
Okay. So yeah, okay. If that just landed, then that's what we should do. And then I guess the question will be, do we think it applies, like, will it need an actual backport or will it just apply as is? That's worth asking.
Well, that would depend. That would depend on the releaser, how the release branch would be like when releasers are preparing the release. So if then the backport is not clean, they would comment on the
Right, okay.
pull request, right? So
They
in
should,
that
yeah,
case, we can
yeah,
make manual backport. Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's definitely true. If we knew it needed a backport, might make sense to be proactive, but if we think it should just land, then it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, anything more we should discuss on that one?
I don't have any.
No, okay. Any other, like, I don't see anything too new. Are there any other issues? I think, Vladimir, you on the lib node one, we
Yeah,
discussed last time.
I did some small changes like rebased on latest code and also extracted code into separate file. Currently, I'm looking to renaming some functions to actually, instead of using NAPI prefix, to use Node API prefix. And also, I'm looking to running unit tests. And this way, I have a question to ask. So currently, at least on Windows, not on Visual Studio, I can't run this. It seems like we don't run embedding tests at all. And I'm mostly using Windows myself for development. And I obviously need to add them somehow.
Right.
I see currently we're using CC tests to run some tests which are driven from Google Test, right? And the question like about this embedded tests, I see that they're actually driven from JavaScript, but on Linux side, they've been put together with CC tests. And I'm a bit confused with the whole this testing story for embedding tests. I just was wondering if you guys have more context about this
Yeah, I'm
embedding.
not that familiar with like any specific embedding tests. There are like a bunch of add-on tests where like add-ons are built and then, those are loaded and tested. Um, so you're saying there's no embedding tests or there are, and it's just.
There are embedding tests which run on Linux, but they
Right,
somehow,
okay.
while being driven from JavaScript, they somehow bound with CC tests, which effectively like Google tests. I don't know,
Right, we do use Google Test for some, yeah. I don't know the details of that. Sorry, I don't have any top of the head help to give you there.
And I was wondering if you could open, for example, Makefile. I'll
Sure.
show you like what.
Yeah.
I
Well,
definitely
if
need to
I
implement them
recall
for Windows, but
correctly,
I want. Sorry.
sorry, I was mentioning that the embedded test might be um designed for embedder entry JavaScript file. So I believe it will be fine to start with CC test because that's all we have to do with native API, particularly for C++ API that for designed for embedded.
Oh, I mean, like, okay. So you're saying like they should be part of CC test?
Yeah, because I was in um I will need to perform a double check, but My impression is that the embedding test is for a snapshot test, which is based on the JavaScript file that embedder provides, because they might want to um, include the JavaScript files in the node.js binary, where these JavaScript files are used as the entry files instead of the node.js default entry files that run user script. So that's what I recall that this embedding test was for. As for the native C++ API, they should be tested with systest, which means we can test it with G with Google Test framework. So that's my impression.
Okay. We see this code with lines 288 and 289. See, we kind of running CC test over here. And like you said, the CC test is Google test. But then we run embedding tests like that don't look like Google tests.
Yeah, because I mean, when run snapshot is a particular different thing that we have to be built for. I mean, each binary can only have one snapshot, so embedding test have to be built separately, and for each embedder's JavaScript file, so that they cannot use Google test because we have different binary. Whilst systest, we can, and while systest, we build all tests in one binary so that we can run it and run it with the same snapshot. I mean, V8 snapshot. So that's why we cannot use the Google test with the embedding test.
Right, I understand. What I don't understand, why is it we run them together? Like why we run embedded test as a part of CC test rather than being kind of standalone test, or maybe like running some other JavaScript test like a node API test. Is what question I'm asking. Like if you look how
Well,
with embedding tests run today, they run together as a part of CC test, right?
yeah, right.
It literally said like running C++ test using the built-in CC executable. And if you look what this makefile says, like run CC test and run embedding test.
Well, I don't think there's any particular reason, but I can ask Joey if she has any thought on this. But I believe systest will be perfect for testing embedded APIs, in particular with the C++ APIs. So I think it will be straightforward to get started with Google Test in
Right,
the
right.
with the systest. Yeah.
I'll have a look if it's possible, because one of my concerns that some of these embedding APIs, they kind of assume that we initializing this stuff. We initializing a node environment, right? Is CC test already do it too?
Yeah, there is an environment um uh, um, I mean node environment CC Google Test set up. So we have many CC test cases that set up different node environment. So you can set up different node API embedder environment as well with CC test because there is no different snapshot for Node API and Web APIs, right? So in that case, I believe it will be possible with this test.
Okay.
And unless we expose different JavaScript entry point and expose snapshot as well, but I'm not sure if that will be in your roadmap. In that case, I believe we have to set up a different binary for such testing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look. Cool. Thanks for providing these details.
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
we agree that at this point, this embedding test does not look. It looks a bit out of place in this make file. Right.
well, sorry.
No, do we agree that currently invoking embedding tests as a part of CC test looks wrong?
Well, I mean, it's nothing wrong. I just think that it might be just for convenience that we don't have to add another testing target. So, but anyway, if you find a better place to run the embedding test, it would be great if it's just simple that you move to a different make target. So yeah, I mean, it's just I can ask for Joey if she placed here on purpose, but I believe it's just for convenience.
I can see the point that it says run the CC tests and we're running something which is not the CC tests. If that was called run C related tests, because the embedding tests are like, we're trying to test the C API, like the C APIs, right?
Yeah, right.
So I can see the argument that they make sense that they could go together, but the way it's named, I also can see we're running things which aren't CC tests, but the thing's called CC test, right? So if it was actually called C dash tests, or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
But
exactly. That's the point.
I don't know if that answers your question, Vladimir, but I suspect it was just like, I don't want to create a new target. Let's just put this thing, which is related in that it's running C-level tests together, is probably what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, it's one of the kind of biggest thing like made me stuck a bit. That's the point. Okay, I'll continue to work on it.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I suppose this topic is finished, right? I hope I didn't interrupt into this. I posted a link in the chat that I found that we have a website for the node add-on examples, but it didn't being it was not being linked anywhere. For example, the Node.js documentation or the node add-on examples GitHub repo. For example, the node add-on example GitHub repo didn't link into this page as well. So I found that it's somewhat lost in the place because I didn't find it anywhere. So I just like to know if you are aware of this website.
Definitely, Jim, a few years ago, put the work in to get it running. It should be generated directly. This one generated. I think it should have some of the examples generated into them,
Yeah,
right?
it's generated from the node add-on example
Right.
GitHub repository. But I'm thinking that I post the link in the chat. It's about the GitHub node add-ons example repository. Maybe we can update the about link at the right top of the page
Right, I think
top.
that should be linked. It's linked here, right?
Oh, well, yeah, right.
But I do agree, it wouldn't be bad to have that at the top.
Yeah, I was thinking that we can publicly replace the top right about link. It's on the top of the page, right on the right panel.
The,
Yeah, top of the right panel.
oh, like here.
Yeah, here. Maybe we can replace this link with the website.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would make sense. Yeah.
So, yeah, if people think a good idea, I can update the about info to link to the website after the call.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other topics we should chat about this week?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay. If not, thanks for everybody's time, and we'll see you in GitHub and next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
See you on
Bye.
GitHub.